Okay, let's see if that works. Second attempt, second session today. So we've done this area where you can delete your personal data. This button is not hooked at yet. And also there is no delete function. But before I do that, I want to complete the function that returns what data there is to delete. And the function is started, but it's not completed. So I think for that, let's close all the files, check, kill the backend, because we're gonna change it quite a bit. So no need to keep it running right now. Let me center the ID like that. Okay, that's good. So now I'm gonna check if we are on main. Okay. Let's see if everything is pulled. Just some sanity check before we start. Is fetched. Yep, the branch are clean. And the same on GitHub as the last build. There is 0 pull request open and 1 branch. Okay, that's all you want. Clean, nice and clean. Okay, these are the notification about the app. We'll deal with the app much later. Now finish the website first. So there is this function in it's in functions folder, whose handler is called fetch user data. At the moment, it returns a delete info type, which contains only delete status. Okay. The second thing I want to say there is what newsletter subscription you might have. So for that, I think there is already a function retrieving that. It's in we have a DAO for it. It's called interested DAO. And basically, I want to fetch so this fetch user data has only the user ID as a parameter. However, I think the subscription I have to find by email because, subscription can be anyone with an email, not necessarily only Google users. So I think I need to do a first change. Okay, let's create a branch. The last branch I merged. See pull request, closed. Is this one. The branch was closed, called fetch user data. Basically, we're going on with the same thing. So we call it without fantasy check user data 2, in which we start to fetch the subscription. Maybe we can call it that. Check user subscription. It's okay. We'll put that in the commit message. The branch name is not that important. So find validate. Let's see what we have. Let's go see the outline. Okay, we got find validated by doc by email. Validate doc. Don't even know what that means. Let's call it that. Find subscription by mail. That looks like what we need. Mm. Validate doc is a type which is defined as this. That's why. So anyway, we are interested in find subscriptions by mail. So find all the subscription by mail. The problem is this doesn't have email as input. I would like it to have it. So let's get the input email and let's validate it. Could validate it a little bit better, checking for it, but because we are querying and not inserting the email in the database, it's okay. Because it's validated on inserting, why is this? Because it's right n mail, email, okay. Yeah, so if it's not valid, we'll not find it. More validation will just save me a query, but it's not a big deal. So what we want to do is call that method await fetch. What was that? Subscriptions by email, which accepts the email as input. And of course, you return an array of subscription. I know it's not necessary. I will put it. Okay, let's do this. No need. We put this in a variable called subscriptions, and it says, "Oh, it's not used." That's fine. That's fine. So what I'll do if I put it here. Let's do the import for the interested DAO first. There. So we do an import from interested DAO. Oh, DAO. And then we import this function. Okay, so that's sorted. Now, the delete info, I would say we'll have an array of subscriptions called subscriptions. So we need to change that. So there is an array of subscription. Semicolon. Okay, thanks. Fix for me. Okay, so now that works. So now we have to change. That was it. That was it. That was so good. The array could be empty. It was quick. Now I can go to the front end and say, well, we also need to pass the email now. So let's change that. Go to the front end. So the front end is in the web folder. So I've done the previous session 3 hours. If I do another 3 hours, total 6 hours, but of very good progress. That would be good. Let's see if I can do that. I would be very happy with solid progress. So that's the front end. We are talking about area delete, fetch user data. Now we need to change this call to also accept an email. And it's mandatory, so we just put email string. Excellent. So now we have to use it. So, okay, exactly like that. Do we have to do some escaping there stuff? User ID is safe. Email might not be safe. So let's ask the AI, why not? Maybe this bit and we do command I. Do I need, I know user ID is safe. because it comes from Google Auth and does not contain spaces or weird characters. However, I'm not so sure. Maybe this is too much for an inline prompt, yeah? I will try. If it doesn't work, we'll copy this prompt and we will do it in Cascade instead. I'm not so sure if I have to URL encode the email address, and I think the answer is yes, but I don't think it will give me an answer. Yeah, it just did that. But no answer, isn't it? Eh, If we accept, it did that, just did that for us, but is that safe? What is it doing? It's also replacing stuff. So let's do that. We go here in Cascade. We use the model SW1. Gemini promo. We finished the credits there. Ah, Sonnet bring your own key, but only Sonnet. If I click on that, mm, so let's go with SW1 Lite. So we copy this text, we paste it here, do that. I think URL encoding and coding the email is the safe thing to do here, but can you explain me lines 144 to 147 in API-TS in add file column web API-TS. I can just okay in API-TS and explain why we need URL encode and replace. Okay. This is the URL encoder URI component email. This is the first line of defense for URL encoding. Encoding more special character to the URL safe equivalent. For example, specific one percent to 0. It's %20. At becomes %40 and so on. Replace is needed because doesn't encode certain characters that are still special in URL. Really? So encode the URI component does not encode everything? Does it remove them? What does it do? Replace this with C? It handles a character, yeah, those exclamation mark, what do you call quotes and apostrophe, asterisk, and parentheses are encoded to the hexadecimal ASCII value. It's a percent, okay. The reason we need both steps is that doesn't encode URI component, does not encode all characters by position. Should this be in a library? Okay, nice. I would never knew that without when I was, if I would do it by myself, I would have just do a encode URI component and be happy with it. Okay, let's see if we can move this to util maybe. So this is an API. Okay, it could be safe encoding. Let's copy this stuff. Copy for now. And we add a function here called safe encoding, safe URL encoding. Should it be URI encoding equal, it's a function. We accept a string as an input, paste that. Oh, oops. We paste that. Obviously, not necessarily an email, but text string. And so we paste the text here and we return it. That means we can use the shorthand syntax here. Well, we can have a semicolon here, which, no, because the semicolon is out there. Yeah, we can use shorthand syntax. That means we can remove the braces and we can remove the return and that brace. Excellent. So now we have our safe URI encoding function and I can go to use it instead of this mess. No, I keep that. But we can just say safe URI encoding email. And that's fine. If we need it again, maybe we move it to another file, we'll see. For now, it's fine there. Okay, so we passed the email. The decoding should be automatic, but we'll see. So now, we got a problem here. Expected to argument of course. So now we have to trickle down the email. So let's do this, add it here. Uh-huh. Okay. So I'm kind of wondering why when you define your idea as derived. Whoa, it's incredible how much free AI you can get. Let's see this in this code in at code context item. Sure. No, don't know that works. What? Whoa! Stop! Stop! In this code in at file area delete Svelte, I used derived in for user UID since initially that's the only thing I needed from user, but now I also need email, so I am wondering if this is still the right approach. Oh, yeah, because that looks a little bit weird. Yeah, let's take a look at the full component. Okay. Since you are now using both UID and email, from the user story, it's better to derive the entire user object for a better reactivity. Exactly. Well, that's so good. That sounds like a good answer. So we say current user derived user. I like that. Mm. If current user, okay, check UID and email. That makes sense. Then we call current user UID and current user email. Okay. This approach is more robust because it creates a single reactive binding to the user object. It ensures that both UID and email are available before calling update delete info. It's more maintainable if you need more properties in the future. You won't need to update the derived statement. The current approach with user exclamation mark non-annual assertions can lead to until errors isn't fully loaded yet, which shouldn't happen. But because it's checked outside the component, but I'm happy with this. Okay, drink some water. Um, okay, so effect, it means it's called every time user changes, and then we call update user info, which actually what it does, it calls the API fetch this delete info, which in terms is defined as state. And we have this phase, which has three state. Loading will delete the personal information, or where is it? Now it's like that because I shut down the backend functions. We started them again. Or not deleting, so it goes out from the loading state, which is the initial state. Okay, good, good. And now the change I've just done. Okay, you know what? Update user info. You know that update user info is confusing me. It looks like it's gonna change them, but then it's not. It's fetching that. Let me change this to fetch user info. It's better. Fetch delete info. Okay, information about the delete. So it's what is gonna be deleted. So here I want to write something like, when you delete your personal data, let's put this in the screen somehow. Um, this will be deleted, and now what I want to do for a start is to just do console log of this, see what we get. Console log delete info. Okay, let's start from that. So let's start the backend first. I was opening backend npm run serve. Is that even in the screen? Not yet. It'll be npm run serve. This starts the Firebase emulator. Boom. And then we do front end. Okay, that failed, but it was I was changing the code. Let's npm run dev and see what happens now. Well, looks good. Yeah, now we are back. We are kicked out. Let's open the console because there let's clean previous errors. There we should see. Ooh, they went. I hate when that happens. These things will pop up. Yeah. Ooh, no, no. Ooh, what the heck is this? Go back. I made a mistake. Okay, cannot go back. So close. Do it again. I hate this pop-up thing, but I guess it's that's how the authentication works. That's annoying. Okay, so this fetches this function. Finally, okay, here you go. We get this status and subscription. So there we say I'm subscribed to both newsletter in this case. Newsletters. Let's open these details. Okay. So now we have to display this stuff. The first part is just the information whether or not it's deleting. And so this is fabricated because it's not found in the database. We cannot code that it will delete. Actually, let's code Stampy for the state that we need to delete, and then we'll change that. Wait, this is a delete. Okay. So we have a div actions and a div avatar container. If we add another div here, div data being deleted, h3, this data that would be deleted. Let's start with that, see how it looks. A bit big. Yeah. So we'll say try only strong. I don't dislike that. I guess Y was better. So here in the styling, I style H1. Is H3 styled in the CSS? Let's see. Then do we need an H4 in that case? Let's start to find H1. H2. And H3, nobody styled H. What if we make this stood only for the H3? H3, so font family, Montserrat, okay. So here, let's go H3 instead of strong. Okay. Oh, there is a suggestion, which might not be a bad suggestion. A number list, delete info. Does not exist on delete info? It should. Maybe I have to do npm run build. To get the updated. I know it doesn't. So you have to update these subscriptions. Subscription array. Okay, nice. Post here is still work in progress, but we're getting there. Should we style H3 just there in that instead of up CSS? Right, let's do that. Need font weight 400, so slightly uh, stronger than usual, but not too much. We go 300. It looks quite strong. Doesn't change anything. What is that? Font size 20 pixels. Let's see how it looks. So we say if I do 10 pixel, it's not changing anything. Oh, oh, it will help to run the server. npm run dev. Almost lost my mind already. Ooh, the backend is off. No, it's not off. npm run serve. There is an error there. Let's wait. Hmm. Uncode can read properties of undefined. Reading subscriptions. That's weird. Um, it's because we actually display before we obtain it. So uh, that means kind of works now. Um, s- undefined. So or nothing. Oh, that works. Elegant save. So I want to understand why this styling is shit. So we are trying to do H3 in app CSS. Are we targeting H3? No, we are not. Here I target H3. I set a light font weight. I can put height at 10 pixel. Yeah, it does work. Yeah. So let's try 16. Okay, I don't like, why is it bold? Is that a Montserrat problem? Or is it because I have Montserrat only bold? Yeah, I think that might be the case. So let's see where I import that font. Maybe in up HTML, maybe? Or maybe in head. Oh, where is I forgot how Svelte kit head is populated. Is it in every page populating it? So where to go? Roots? Ah, layout. That's my head. And why do I need it? Hmm. Ah, yeah, I was trying to figure out Montserrat, what we have. Poppies, Montserrat, we have only 700, that's why. Let's import also 400. Looks like the way to do it. So now that we have that information, let's go to here and we say font weight 400. Does that work better? Let's try 500. This seems even too thin. Yep, 500. Let's try 600. Okay. Um, we can display the user email, yeah, because so we want to indent UL, basically a margin left 50 pixel will do. Yeah. With H3, we want to leave some space. Why? Margin bottom 20 pixels. Let's see how it looks. Even too much. 16. Okay. Oh, let's close some files that we don't need. So back in here, we were saying would be deleted. Okay. Paragraph, let's say one. User info. User info. Google account info. User info obtained from Google authentication. 2. Subscriptions. Email subscriptions for user email. Ah, oh yeah, excellent. One user info from Google Authentication. Right. Oh, so the layout doesn't work. Yeah. We need to put the buttons on a new line, even for large screen. Okay, let's do it. No problem, not a problem. Div. Mm. Oh, why it didn't go down? I messed up. Let's order a drink delivery. What's going on? Bubble tea. Something incredible. Matcha coffee. Here we go. The usual stuff. Pop cafe. And bacon cafe. Oh my. Coconut smoothie. Banoffee smoothie sounds amazing. That's what I got. Toppings, nope. That's it. Order. 10 baht more to get 10 baht off. No. Place order. Okay, so we get the drink maybe in half hour. So let's undo because I screwed up something. Let's go back to working HTML, which is now the case, isn't it? So we got actions in here in the same div. Remove it from here. Now we have only 2 items. Where it works. And then we open a new div outside with the buttons. The buttons are now outside there. That's not what I wanted. What I want to do is take this user info and the button, place them below. So when I do a div here around user info, and nothing should change so far, but it now is really weirdly formatted. And we already broke it. What? Oh, I start from here. And here is fine. Okay. So what I want to do is simple. Is get this, delete this user info and wrap it in another div. So div, delete this end div, copy it here, save. Okay, formatted. Now it works. So nothing changes, obviously, because that's the only thing we did. Now I get these buttons and I place it below this. Okay. And now they go side by side. Now they go, it goes down. I don't know even why. Um, just for like a of space. No, that's the default is as it goes down. Yeah, of course. So now actions. So I have with that already. We just need to do some details. Actions, display flags. No, but that's display flags inside the actions. And we should do margin top 40 pixel. And now it's spaced correctly. Now, that's great that we say that, but the problem is if there is no email subscriptions, I want this to change the color so it's more easy to spot. Bar, uh, let's see what we got. Style collection. Ah, okay. Later, the color action, even more, we have accent. Okay. This is it. Okay, perfect. User info obtained from Google Authentication. That is not a good description. Google account information. Email subscriptions for that. So a number list, margin left. Let's see what else we got. What was adding? So what I'm thinking is this space, where does it come from? Not from the URL. Is it from the paragraph then? put a ridiculous low value. Yeah. For the most part, is a line height. And I want to space UL. Let's space them out. That didn't work. No, that's the number list. List height or line height. Okay, we're acting on that a little bit more. Okay. Don't want the capital case there for subscriptions. And if there are none, we'll display here. It says if not. Uh, and if hmm, oh, slash if. That's how it the syntax. So in my subscription would say none instead of the list. Okay, let's test this out. So now we got the mail subscription, this and that. That's great. Now I'm just going to do something dirty and delete them manually in the database just to test. Okay, waiting list, delete one, delete document, FireStore. Now we have only one, so let's start to see how it looks like. Reload the page. Yeah, we just got one, correct. And now let's try with 0. Tester list, correct. Delete document, delete. And now if we, okay, £5. If we reload the page, if I can find it, here I go, it should say none. Ooh, no, it doesn't. Ah, okay. So where is that in the console log? That is not the right way to do. Now we don't need that. Let's just try over. So, but the problem is it didn't quite work, the none. How come? How come? Yeah, that's, oh, it shows briefly and then goes away. I kind of know why, because probably an empty array is not nothing for JavaScript. So I need to change the test. Where is the if, the famous if? It's here. If not subscription, or if subscription length is 0, that should work now. Yeah, so reload the page just to see it. Is none and stays none instead of disappearing, because it comes initially is undefined, then it gets an empty array and none was going away. Well, none should be capitalized. I'll say no. Otherwise, we'll just display the list of subscriptions. That's great. And the third thing is update. Up data. data saved from the app. Then my phone is almost empty. Let's put it in charge. Okay. App data. Device info and financial records. Yeah, they have financial records. Yeah. Okay, great. Uh, are we checking if there is any? Are we leaving some more space after H3? Yes, please. Let's find H3 again. Yeah. Much more. Start 24. Let's start to make more sense. More than that would look like a bit too far. Maybe like this too far already. But yeah, it should be a little bit more than a normal line distance, I guess. Well, it looks good. So now maybe we want to say how many records we have, or maybe we just want to say we found the update or we didn't. Um, anyway, for that we need one more DAO in the functions, which we'll need anyway to delete stuff from the app later. Wouldn't it be nicer if this on the left? Um, just for test. Basically, it's the user info and buttons. Let's call it user delete. Settled. So we go the user delete display flex. Oh my god, we start with that only. Oh yeah, because display flex we made it horizontal. Okay, we just have to say um, display direction. How do you say column? Flex direction. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, they are help me too. All right, so we are back. And then justify content. Let's try flex start. Not sure about that because that's column. I want to say, yeah, it's more about align items. Left. Self start. Oh yeah, that's how I want it. But now that I look at it, I don't like it anymore. I don't think I like it. It was better centered. Okay. So, right, unless we want to say we got some progress now, are we going to do a PR? Yeah, maybe it's the case. It's a good idea. Yeah, start to check. Let's take a moment to check what we got so far. Commit and push. Ignore these errors because I just closed the server. Go back here and we create a new PR. That's about displaying the if the title is display subscriptions in user delete my data. Yeah, that's what we did here. Create a PR. Let's have a good build. It's already quite a bit, few changes to review. Let's not make it too big. So add the email, return the subscriptions. This is one good change. Then messed up it with the styling, added all this information. In the backend, added the email there so we can make the other call. Added this safe URI encoded function, which we learn about. That URI encode is not enough on its own. Never knew that. And then we messed up a little bit with the styling. Ooh. Those need to be URL encoded. And there's nothing failing. But we got this nasty looking thing from GitHub to tell us there is something wrong there. Okay, and the CI also failed, but for a different reason, I guess. Let's check that reason as well. Why did the CI fail? Okay. The key for each. We'll settle that in a second, but first let's go to layout. Let's fix that too. That's a function, so I can keep on looking here and I'll find it because we have to look at web. There you go, layout Svelte. And the problem here is this amp and needs to be escaped in the URL. Even though that's the URL that Google gives you, but it's not quite 100% compliant. That should be it. The other problem was this this submode is actual great key, so we can just do this and then we solve the problem. Okay, now we push. And now this trigger a new build that potentially would work. 1 hour. Give a quick look because I already look at this. and the error there is fixed. Yeah, looks like it's fixed. It's fixed. So if we want to be thorough, let's look for ampersand. And yeah, there are only those three. Okay, in this file. At least. So I'm happy with this. Let's just wait for the CI to come up. It failed for the lack of key. Now we added the key. Good. So now we can merge. Now we can delete the branch. And here do git checkout main, git pull, git fetch all, git branch, and git del fetch user data 2. And now we git checkout fetch user data 3. Okay. Ooh. Git checkout -b, create a branch. Checkout and create a branch. Okay, so or create a branch and checkout. Okay, so now we've done that. We are saying to know what financial data we have to look at the user collection. Users. So if I look here in the backend, hold on, why you have to do git checkout? No, that was correct. It's a new branch already. Checkout fetch user data 3. I was confused because okay, functions. Let's go check what DAO we have. Deleting Firebase. Okay, interested mail events DAO user stuff. Users DAO, yes. Ah, okay. So let's check. Delete. What we put inside? Let's check deleting DAO. Okay, we get logger. Yeah, why not? And then we need to name a collection. Users collection. That's a start. And we want to know if the user exists and maybe how many records we have. The user exists is pretty easy. We just have to go here and see, can we fetch this record? Um, then the count would be maybe a separate query. Do we want to then combine them? I don't know. Let's close layout. We fetch by UID. So we do something like fetch user by user ID. and we pass the user ID. Okay, fair. So now we need to just fetch it. Basically that. Let's start pure and simple. And we get the data out. And we return the data. Okay, the problem now is that we need the ID, the DB, which is just have to import it. Okay. Let's not define return tab for now until we are clear. So hmm. I don't even, I'm not even interested in this data. I just want to know if the user is there or not. I want to know if the user is there or not. If data uh, const user found equal data. Mm, that kind of works. And the opposite condition, if it's found, we can go to count how many records we have. And we return user found. If we found, we finally get to this code, the famous count. Ah, ah. The count code. So we can count how many we have in the database. Whoa. I'm getting compensation. This is not coming. My drink. Uh, import from FireStore. Get FireStore we don't need. User ID we don't need. Logs correction ref. Yes. We can hard code it for now. let's say we get dog items count. It's not be a const, but let, and yeah, and then if it user found, we are code this just to test the front end to 1239, whatever. Okay. So that would be enough to test the front end. Not yet, no, because this is just doing this little job. But we're not even using it yet. And user found can be false, but yeah, it will always be there. So now what we want to improve delete info to say, let's call it app user found because the user is always there. Boolean. So in here, let's keep everything consistent. App user found and like that. Oh, coming. Hmm. App user found. Now, this is not used yet. Oh, yeah. Now, this wants app user found. Let's call it to true for now. But what we really need to do is call that thing with a user ID. To call that thing, we need to import that function from yeah. And now we need to assign this to app user. And one way to do that is to just spread it. And we'll have an extra property. And doesn't seem to even be bothered. Let's see. Well, I think, yeah, we got my drink. Eh, This will give me some sugar. Marshmallow will cold soon. So what's he complaining about? I was trying to spread it. Why is he red? It's so suspicious. I get a half drink. 1.5 drink? I know what they've done. They probably done too much, and then they didn't want to throw it away, so they sent me 2 drinks. Yeah, must be it. So why this app user spreading is red? App user come from there, and it has log items count. And app user found. While in the type, I only put 1 so far. And type is here. Let's put also the other one. That's just a number. Let's see if that improves the situation. Maybe I just worried that that's red, but it's just a way it's colorized and it's not an error. I don't know. Maybe. Oh, this wakes me up though. So let's ignore that. And now the front end, let's run a build just to make sure to get the updated type. Not 100% sure if it's necessary or not, but it does not hurt. This is in the wrong place. Email subscriptions. None. This should have been in the else. Yeah, that makes more sense. Oh, what? Ah, well, it's enough to close P before, and then we solve the problem. Ah, no, it doesn't. It doesn't. Because this is inside an if. So it can't be like that in the else. So what we're gonna do is cut this away, delete the else, close the P, not the div, remove this close P, and we have to add another if, otherwise HTML doesn't work. That is okay. Mm, bit of repetition, but it should fix the issue. Now, from this delete info, let's display something. Right. Display that the log item count that apparently does not exist in the info, but it should. See why it does not exist? We updated the type. Oh, let's save the file. It was even suggested by the autocomplete. I'm just trying to follow where delete info comes from. Ah, it's not there. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's what I want. Now, well, we also need. Why that was not complaining? We also need app user found, right? So does this solve also the other issue that we saw? Oh, that's the generated one. Um, no. Oh, let's see. Let's click on the info. Oh, because when I click, I go to this generated one. Let's build also for the backend. Hmm. That's different. And I think we insert being confused. We close and open again. That's still red, but maybe it's not an error. In fact, if I hover, I don't see anything kept popping up. So maybe it's just a weird. Oh, that's just a suggestion. It's not an error. Okay, so come on, get rid of it. So what we've done so far, we can start the backend 1 hour and a half. Okay, nice. This is the record of the past week. 3 hours session plus 1.5, 4.5. I have to go for another hour and a half. And with those whipped cream and broccoli? No, parsley. That's so weird. Blech. I put vegetables inside a, a super sweet drink. I don't know. Only a much stronger straw. Mm. The backend is on. The front end. Oops. Did I ruin something? Doesn't look good. npm run dev. So now I should display. Go to the web folder. npm run dev. Starts with. I should display how many items there are, which is hard coded from the backend. But it's a start. Well, we need to relog again. We need to figure out why it logs me out. But that's for later. Maybe need to create a ticket to capture it. Uh, Yep. Mhm. So now let's work on the various cases for the update. So is it there or not? So say if hashtag if or hash if delete info app user found, yeah, then we say that shouldn't change. Yeah. The only thing is log events. I remove this. Yeah, lowercase. Mm. That's now fine too. I want to target P, but only inside here. Data overview. Mm. Okay. And there, I think the font is already Montserrat. No, it's already Poppins. Let's put inside any property I will remove just to shut up the compiler. Mm. Mm. You know what? Let's check the font. Mm, Poppin 16, okay. I want font size very small, 12. Oh, that's really too small. 40. Okay, let's see how it works. We just have to change the breakpoint to a bit earlier. Maybe much earlier. Let's try just under pixel just to see. Probably not enough. Almost. 900. Yeah. 880. 860. Yes, but it's a bit too on limit. Okay, perfect. So now that this works, we are saying for event minute 1239. Okay, this comes from here. I hard coded for now 1239. Let's say user found false just to test. I coded just to test how it works. So, but for that, I need to reload the backend. Ba-dee-dee-dee. Mm, Now it will work. Reload. Mm, Okay. It remains blank there. So there is something going on. Maybe that should be his own component. Maybe. Or maybe not, because I need to the same data for the buttons. I can pass it down though. Because there is no else. That makes sense. we're gonna write not found. Sounds amazing. Sounds amazing. So let's make it real. To finish that, we just need to go back to here, fetch user, remove this record false so it gets the real information. And now we have to work on this 1239, which is recorded. I need a spoon maybe. And instead, it should come from the number of log items. The problem in my case is even higher than that. Is every single action that I put in the app creates an event, a log item. And then it's the first time I tried a few times and failed. But it's the first time I made an event log that allows me to rebuild the database. And that actually works. It sounds easy, but it's really complicated. Mm. Let's create another function called, which is being turned up, fetch logs count, logs item count. You know, I want to call it item count. Ah, no, I was right to put 0 here. And then if the user is found, we go fetch it. Otherwise, we don't need to. Let's start with 1. Now, the problem is we broke the info because the info expect items count and I just call it item count. So let's rebuild the backend, rebuild the front end because we changed the share package. We want to make sure everything works. Okay. Oh, this drink is finished. It was not a drink, it was a cake. So sweet. What are these crazy dots there? And I didn't feel the need to use AI at all. Actually, I use it all the time, but not a long prompt. Yeah, I used in Cascade, but not the Google one I meant. Well, yeah, because this is the. Why is it even open? I changed the wrong stuff. Ah. Let's go slowly. Check the shared package. Not dist, but type. And that is unchanged. So we gotta change that. Do the rebuilds now. Front end and back end. Now go back here and everything works now, no errors. Okay. But the only thing I changed is if I start the front end, we're going for 2 hours. And I start the back end. I add also the final E. Mhm. I should see just one here, one event. Instead it says not found. And but the reason is because it's still loading, isn't it? Uh-huh. There are two problems. One is that I have to rename list to item count. And the second is it's right not found too quickly before it actually fetch the information. So I guess we cannot say anything. All this area where we are loading should be a big spinner as well. So let's do that. And actually, maybe it's shut up, Siri. Ah, it's not Siri, big spinner. Come on, all these fucking assistants. Hmm. Let's create component for this data delete overview. Let's rename this data overview to data delete overview or delete data overview. First, we start task here and here. Let's space it out a second. And let's rename, this is the only thing I refer to. Okay. And now, get a new component. Delete data overview. Svelte, that's the longest name so far. And we get this HTML, cut it away, place it here. There will be lots of problems, no worries. And we'll fix the problems. Script, lang, ts. We need to pass user and delete info. Delete data overview for now like that. And it's already imported. Yep, well, that's good. Yeah, we surely need to pass delete info. We want to define delete info. We need to import delete info. Okay. Okay. Let's solve a little bit of errors. And I'm just using email here. So like, why don't instead of getting the user, I don't think I have email in the info. I could add it. Maybe not a bad idea because I have it. So let's add it. Not a bad idea. Keep everything together. Ignore the error now. Remove that. Okay. Okay. Excellent. We are almost there. Now, why is this complaining? Aha. Because delete info could be undefined because that's how it starts, isn't it? Yes. So we just need to allow that. And actually, no need to say or undefined. We just need to say question mark here. No, here. No. Yeah, it's a just or undefined. Whatever. Okay. So now we're saying this star doesn't make sense anymore there. Let's move it. Great. Wait, now we have to check that we didn't break anything. It should be exactly the same as before. A little bit broken it is because of the H3 style, which probably would be marked as unused in this. Yeah, okay. Try to get these styles out. And probably also the p-line height. Start with that. Good. Let's get also the p, but the p we don't remove it, we just copy it over. Okay. I don't know if it changed or what it changed. To see the change, I have to do this. Yeah, it makes it slightly closer, which kind of works better, yeah. Okay. Now the problem is the same as before. We start saying none and this should have saying not found, but in reality it's too early to say. We could use the loading state, but actually we have that information directly from where is it? Here. If delete info is undefined, then it means it's too early. So we're gonna wrap everything except the title. Exactly. Like that. And the fee or if, and it put an else. And if no, there is a good spinner there. And which is already imported for us. So now it should work properly. Oh, yes, I don't know yet. And then after, and spinning there, we finally can tell you what we deleted. Oh, now this is to hard code it to 1. Let's fix that. So let's make it a proper function. Return to whatever. Okay. So now we need to fetch the local logs collection reference. For that, we need the user ID. So let's add the user ID. It's a string, and we need to pass it through, pass it down. Excellent. So let's build that collection. That was STP collection. One argument, but that too. Ah, yeah, because it's a kind of different syntax. Okay. Now we got that. We can do get count from server, if that works, and get the actual count. Okay, so first observation and is to that where we should return this count. And this should be asynchronous. Okay. That means here we need to await it. That's already asynchronous. That's great. Get, I prefer to say fetch for long operations. Now, oh, that cannot change because that's a Google name. Let's import it from Firebase. That's not correct. Firebase FireStore. Mm. Basically like that. No, 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 davanti. Argument of type, not as to type query. There's something missing. A connection. Ah, okay. We can use Google now because my API quota is replenished. Let's go Gemini. We go nuclear option, Gemini. Okay. Let's quit, make sure that we go start a new session, start clean. Excellent. So in users DAO, so that's web. No, it's not web, it's functions. Slash source, isn't it? Slash DAO, slash users DAO. Okay. I am trying to implement fetch logs item count, which should return the number of records in the logs collection without actually 2 hours. So 5 hours today totally. Excellent. Returning them to the client. However, the syntax is wrong and I get the error. Da 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 ba ba ba. Paste the whole error. And I made a mistake here. A is missing. Okay. Oh, one thing I want to do quickly is to commit what we got to see what is actually being changed. But luckily, the CLI won't change anything without our asking. So let's first commit. We got two files untracked, so we'll have to add it before committing. Okay. Excellent. Let's see what the AI is coming with. Gemini. I see you're running into a type error trying to get the count of documents in a subcollection. This is a common issue when mixing the Firebase admin SDK. Mm. Ah. No, that's not correct. It's users. Wait a second. You're saying I made a typo. No, I did not. Uh-huh. Ask. Okay, but before you continue, there is no typo. The actual name is correct. The collection name. Users. No, please continue. Let's tell him that before he screws up. My apologies. I will put in a correct assumption. Correct path. How do you know it's a correct path or not? You know, you don't know see in the back end. Okay. Now I have already done 5 requests to Gemini because every single step counts. One request. This is already one request. And then when I press confirmation, is another request. Uh, yeah. Okay, I will correct factory logs count. Ah, wait a second. Oh yeah, it's very good to use the variable. I don't know why I forgot. Yes, good to use the variable there, the constant. So here I just change there. Wait, I did make a typo. Oh god. Yeah, okay. And then it does that. Okay. Yeah. Duh, go ahead. That's it. Yeah, let's do the linting. But then this is using a lot of requests. Still at 5, maybe it's not there yet. And test, why not? Yeah. Yeah, I like it. Okay, so it's been very useful. Let's see if it actually works. Now we should see the real value. So go to the front end, there is some error there, but let's restart the server first. Go to the no error for now. Go to the backend, started the server. Front end looks good. Backend looks still loading. Should be fine. Should be fine. So now, if I go here, it's already reloading for us. I don't know if that would actually work. Yeah, that's the actual number, 5,950 events. That's scary, isn't it? That's how many events are recorded from the app. It would be removed completely. Should this have a column? I think so, yeah. Oh, and I like that this now is a little component. So nice. I just put a column. Okay. Mm-hmm. Now, now it's a good point where we can commit. But then the next step is make this work. To schedule an actual delete. Okay, let's start to create a PR. So now we go here, and yeah, we have this last change. Right, commit and push. We go to here, GitHub, create a PR. What have we done? Display data to be deleted. No, display how many events would be deleted. Display if the app data exists and how many events would be deleted. Exactly, that's what it does. So now the build runs. Let's start to check the diff. We have this brand new user DAO. I thought it was be difficult, but it's such simple stuff. And let's check this one. We just call up users, spread it. Ah, we never returned the email. Why did I need the email? To display there. We're not displaying the email. In fact, it's not there. Ooh, I forgot that. So hold on, let's fix that. So let's start from. Actually, the build should fail. Let's see if the build fails. I hope it fails because I forgot that. Yeah, it fails. Fantastic. Email is missing. Oh, yes. Good. Even though I realized before seeing the error, it's good to see that the type checking works. So let's go fix it. We have to go from the backend. It's no user DAO, but we can go up. See who's calling me. There you go. Ooh. No. I want to go here. Okay. It's because this delete info function, that's just the email here. So it's very, very easy to pass the email. So just add it. So now, if I just reload the page, I don't know if this is running. No, it doesn't. The reason why it does not work is because I have to restart the backend. So backend, but it would once I restart the backend. I don't need to restart the front end now, only the backend. Hmm. I think we are doing well. Now reload again and should see the email. Perfect. Now the email is there. Okay, so yeah, apart from this little mistake that now fixed, we can push again. Go to the pull request. Now we should trigger a new build. Hopefully this time the build works. And now we have this little component with the data overview, which I like. Yeah, and it's just 100 lines, give or take. So once we are done there, we really have to do the deleting thing. Which this is already fetching. Mm. We can merge. Checkout main, git checkout main, git pull. Git fetch show. Git del fetch user 3. And this is also building here. That should work. And what else? This will take another 10 seconds, more or less. We need one more function handler for saving the deleting. So which should be the same for canceling the deleting. So a toggle. Every time you send an event, toggle delete status. Maybe. Toggle deletes would be enough, yeah. So I don't know if I have any energy to go on, but let's just create a new file called toggle delete. And let's create at least, let's close other file, at least the on request, like that. I don't know if this is correct. We need to import on request. We need to import request and response. We need to import function options. And we need to name this something different from interested, and actually it's better to name it toggle delete. So we have a new function triggered by HTTP request. So in here, yes, we need to send the cross headers if necessary for pre-flight request. In order to send the cross headers, we need to import it. Okay, we're just doing boilerplate, but you know, kind of progress. Then the only thing I need to toggle delete is the user ID. So let's get the parameter. Let's check on the fetch. Yeah. The only thing is, that's not a get, it must be a post. I think I like, so instead of past input, let's call that we only get the UID or user UID. Pass request. Or empty, I don't know. It's not there. So const parse request. Let's say it's return a string. But we need as an input. Yeah, okay, hold on. We need as an input the request. Okay. So now we get similar to fetch user data, we get the user ID. So we call the user ID there. Let's keep on calling user ID. I like it more. Okay. Only there for now. So now we need to get the, well, we need to check if it's a post. Mm. Input status not 200. Yeah, it's a bit unusual, but it's because I set it here. So we do something simple here. If the method is not post, we just return an empty string. We didn't find the user ID. We don't get it. But if the method is not post, now we don't do that from the query, but we do that because it's post now. We get the user ID from that. like that. No, stop it. Request body user ID. Okay, that's it. So it's just checking is it post. I suggest. Yeah, that kind of makes sense. Because here is saying, well, const, because this could be a null, right? Or an undefined. Sì. Any addirittura. Okay. And so we got this finally user ID, yeah? And then we just say we want to toggle delete. That's where we do. The problem is not necessarily missing user ID, but it could be not a post, doing very specific. What's 400 again? Bad mismatch, syntax mismatch. What's called bad request. Say bad request. Bad request. Nothing too specific. And otherwise, let's return a nice 200. Something like that. So now we see all red. Why? Why suddenly it don't work? I know I've done this before. Let's check the other function. Request. Nothing imposed here. It's another way of doing it, but let's see. From express. Nothing. Express. Express. That's mine. From express, it always worked. That's the difference. Let's try that. Let's try this. No improvement. Let's see. It's not really a return, it's just like that. Where was it? So let's go back from express. That should be fine. Yeah, that was the problem. Okay, so it's just checking for email. If email is not there, just return 400, or if it's not a post. Otherwise, it just return 200. It does not do anything yet. if we want to do it something, we need to work with one of the DAOs, which is the deleting DAO, which now need to create a record. Instead of having only export fetch delete status by a user ID, we'll have a new method called toggle delete status by user ID equal async. We'll have a user ID string as an input parameter, and we return something I don't know yet, and we'll do this triggering. Maybe we return the resulting values. Toggle delete status for user ID. Well, that's the only thing we do for now. So let's just call this function here before we send OK. Pass in the user ID. And we also need to say await. And we just need to import it. Okay, so this will just log, but it's showing progress. Because now we just have to create this record as user ID, which can be used also for the key, or maybe only the key. And to delete and schedule task TS seconds. Right. To be able to toggle, but the first thing is to fetch the current state, which we don't do like this suggested by the AI, but we do calling the function that already exists. Let's call it delete status only. Equal await with this async already, yes. User ID. Right, so now we know the delete status, if it's true or false. And in one case, we have to delete the record. If delete status is deleting, we do something, otherwise, we do something else. If it's deleting, delete the deleting record. If it's no, create the deleting record. Because in reality, this is a fake record if it's not there. I need to take a break, 2.5 hours. So we're at 5.5 hours today. Good progress. Can I do another 2 hours later on? If I can, that would be great. If I can't, it's already good progress today. But I want to know. So here we just have to then display this information that says delete is there, the scheduling, we can cancel it eventually with the toggle, and then we just have to implement the actual delete. And then we have to do the tester email because those are not ready yet. Are those captured here in the show deletion? And this is not even finished. Let's put server delete older add contact us page. Oh, that's done. contact. Contact us. Yeah, it's there. Done. Firebase error. We see I delete my data underline. Yeah. And the Google Analytics cookie consent. Yeah. Right. Implement. Apply as a tester. Email templates. Yeah, that's actually one of the more important stuff. So let's put it on top there. That's done. Function to retrieve data to be deleted. And but actually, what I'm doing now is a function to toggle deleting status. Okay, let's take this break, long break. Where is OBS? Okay, finish. Continue later.